and welcome into Bears Blitz, brought to you by IGS Energy. The crew is back together for another season. Lou Canellas, Anthony Herron. I'm Cassie Carlson. We will be with you every week to preview each Bears game, and really no better way to start than a primetime Monday night game to showcase the Ben Johnson era. Everyone I talked to, the excitement level through the roof. Is this the highest you remember it being?
I'll tell you what, I was excited last year because they had the #1 pick, Caleb Williams, coming off a pretty good season the year before. And I was really jacked about the 2019 season when they were celebrating their 100-year anniversary coming off that 2018 campaign when they finished 12-4. But when you snag the hottest head coaching candidate available the last couple of years, and then you spend money, lots of it, rebuilding your offensive and defensive lines, and you figure that Caleb Williams is going to have a better year because he's got Ben Johnson alongside. How are you not excited about 17-0?
Yes, and when you think about it, just around the National Football League, having the primetime windows, having the national windows, it means a lot. You got to show up and play hard on a weekly basis regardless of that. But the players know the magnitude of opening up not only on Monday Night Football, but think about last season. We were at the halfway point in the year before the Bears had even played a divisional game. So now you open up with Monday Night Football against a divisional foe. Yes, I'm ecstatic about the start to this season.
All right, well, there is alignment from front office to head coach to quarterback, and over the last 7 weeks, Ben Johnson has showcased his intensity and attention to detail on the practice field during training camp. Now it really matters.
He's a sponge right now. I mean, he was up in my office a couple days ago, and we watched a couple games together, and he's just, I mean, the entire time, anything I would say, I see him jotting it down in his notebook. And so that's an encouraging thing right now with where we're at. We're going to grow together. This offense is going to grow together with him, and I feel really good about where he's at right now, and there's no reason why we can't win this year.
I got the utmost confidence in Ben and his coaching ability, his play calling, and all of that. So, I think it comes down to being able to execute exactly what he puts out there for us as a team, as an offense. And when things are throughout the week, when we're messing up and things like that, which are going to happen, we got to get back in the huddle, redo it, so that when it happens on game day, we go out there and execute exactly what he dishes out for us.
He's working with Ben Johnson and this offensive system for the first time in a regular season game. We talk all preseason, guys, about teams not showing anything during exhibition play. And I get it. Ben Johnson had terrific success against Brian Flores' defense in Minnesota the last couple of years, averaging 30.5 points a game. Hey, Caleb Williams threw for over 300 yards against this Minnesota defense last year at Soldier Field. I don't care. Jared Goff never threw for 300 yards against that Minnesota defense. Dink, dunk, be reasonable, and get the team out of situations where you're not turning over the football.
Be strategic, be precise, be at times methodical. And that's where, beyond Caleb himself, the rest of this Bears outfit, the Bears offense, the Bears run game, the Bears playmakers, if you get run after catch, all those things can enhance the way we end up viewing the performance specifically of the Bears quarterback, because there were times last season where it felt like so much was on Caleb's shoulders and leading the Bears back from these big deficits and then having to put up big yardage to do so. And they would have these narrow margins at the end of a game. And more often than not, they ended up losing those games last season. But you need more from everyone around Caleb, and that trust that is in the process of developing, of maturing between Caleb Williams and his head coach / play caller, Ben Johnson. We'll see it play out, but I agree, Lou. I mean, to be patient, I think, as voyeurs and how we're watching this thing play out for the Bears offense and passing game specifically, the big picture will be taken into account, I believe, by Ben Johnson.
Well, you said have trust between Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson, but I have to believe Caleb Williams has more trust in his offensive line going into this game and this season as well because of what they overhauled in this offseason. Now, Ben Johnson said a Brian Flores defense is always going to have new wrinkles every offseason. He said there's no breather plays when you're going up against a team that blitzed more than 40% of the snaps last year. How much more poised do you think Caleb is, who was sacked 5 times over those 2 games last year, to handle the blitz, given the fact that the offensive line has been overhauled?
I think he still needs time with this offensive line. I mean, we haven't seen them out there in a regular season game yet. Hey, it's a 100% better offensive line than we saw a year ago. Joe Thuney, 4-time All-Pro. Guys won a number of different Super Bowls. You spent money for Jonah Jackson, who had a relationship with Ben Johnson. You got arguably one of the top 3 centers in the league in Drew Dahlman. Automatically, those 3 guys alone, the interior of your offensive line, in my opinion, Big A, would make the quarterback feel more comfortable. And, hey, I want the Bears to get some ROI, return on investment, because they spent $67 million on those 3 guys up front. Let's see it happen on Monday.
All exceptionally talented players in their own right, but now we do get to see them look to gel and work to see what they can do to get this offense ahead of the chains. That matters so much against a Brian Flores defense, because we do know the blitz is going to be incoming. But if the Bears can have success on the ground, if you're not in 3rd and long, if you can even avoid 3rd and medium, hey, let's do something crazy and even avoid 3rd down altogether. If you do have a legitimate run game that gets rolling against the Vikings, then that puts you in more advantageous positions as you move forward with down and distance, as you get drive after drive mounting in this game. I'll have my eye closely on Drew Dahlman, the Bears center in this game, because with the stretch zone scheme, that outside zone the Bears want to run, his athleticism should do a lot to make sure that DeAndre Swift has run lanes to be able to advance on the Vikings defense.
And I want to go back to you, because the Vikings, not only do they have Jonathan Grenard, they have Andrew Van Ginkel, they add Javon Hargrave, they add Jonathan Allen to their defensive line as well, but their secondary only has 1 experienced player on it, just to combine 3 starts out of those 4 guys back there outside of Byron Murphy. At what point do you take the shots downfield, test that secondary early if you're Caleb Williams?
That's where kind of what I was describing a moment ago ends up impacting an inexperienced back end, because when you're having success on the ground, and there's a lot of eye candy that the Vikings will throw at you that's very difficult to sift through. Where is Van Ginkel? Where is Grenard? Which side will Allen end up being in the defensive front? And the linebackers, the off-ball guys, the second-level players are a big part of that eye candy, where Drew Dahlman has to make sure he and Caleb are on the same page. The offensive tackles truly know who's rushing the edge, where are your hots in relation to all those things. But if you have success on the ground, if your quarterback is on the move with some quick game and some boots and sprints, now the back end of the Vikings defense begins to bite up. You create one-on-one matchups on the outside, and that's where they spent a little capital in the draft and via free agency on the receiver position, where you hope they capitalize there.
Harrison Smith is older, long in the tooth, okay? Byron Murphy's terrific. Jeff Okudah, newcomer. Isaiah Rodgers, newcomer. It may take a little time for those 5 guys in that secondary to create some chemistry for Minnesota. And you're right, maybe take advantage of that opportunity. Again, it starts up front.
Right.
If those 4 guys are getting home in that defensive line that you mentioned, those pass rushers, I told someone earlier today, I'd love one of those 4 guys in a Bears uniform. If you can keep them off of Caleb Williams, it gives him more opportunities to throw downfield.
Go ahead.
And guys, the offensive line, we talk about it a lot of how much continuity means up front and the communication, the time spent together there. The secondary, to your point, Lou, that matters just as much. It's why we're so confident in the Bears DBs. And for the Vikings, they just haven't played a lot of football together yet. And so you'll see in the season opener if some of the wrinkles Ben Johnson throws at them can catch them off balance.
Lou, I want to go back to you. Ben Johnson put up 30-plus points in 5 games against the Vikings when he was the Lions offensive coordinator. Are people reading into that too much, or is that a legitimate thing where we can point to being like, hey, he's had success before?
Well, listen, all I know is The Athletic did a poll out there.
Yeah, that was a great poll.
With 32 general managers asking for the best play caller in football. Number 1, and deservedly so, Sean McVay for the LA Rams. Yep. Number 2, Kyle Shanahan. And number 3, Ben Johnson.
Let's go!
Ben Johnson coaching tree is starting right now.
Ahead of Andy Reid. So, yes, I've got 100% confidence in Ben Johnson, especially since if I know Ben Johnson, the man is so intense. He has been quietly, off the record, game planning for the Vikings defense since the schedule came out in May.
Can you give us a little teaser of how you feel like maybe a different skill set of your game is going to be shown off this season?
Yeah, I think just being a Swiss Army knife, whether I'm at safety, whether I'm at nickel, whether I'm at linebacker, whatever. Yeah, I ain't going to give y'all too much, but definitely going to be a Swiss Army knife, so I ain't going to tell y'all anything else.
Don't worry, Kevin Byard, we're not giving away anything in the Bears' defensive scheme, but Jaquan Brisker is ready to play in his first game since October 6th of last year as he enters a crucial year 4. You can catch my full conversation with the Bears safety Monday night at 5:30 on our special edition of Bears Game Day Live. Now, he also said it's critical to get after J.J. McCarthy, who he noted went to Michigan. Jaquan Brisker, of course, went to Penn State. Added also that he wants to be able to blitz a little bit more in Dennis Allen's scheme. How important will it be to scare J.J. McCarthy as he returns to his hometown?
Well, that's the thing we got to remember. I mean, McCarthy is second-year quarterback, but first year he's getting any action in the National Football League, let alone getting the start on Monday Night Football against an experienced Bears secondary. Now, yes, this will be the first time Dennis Allen is the Bears defensive coordinator and play caller, but when you've got the type of experience on the back end, when you've got this Bears secondary, Kyler Gordon has played so much football together with Jalen Johnson and with Jaquan Brisker. Now the second year, Kevin Byard is on the back end with them as well. Now, Jalen Johnson, we'll see how healthy he is and how many snaps he plays and whatever else. But it's a secondary that's been out here on the football field together quite a bit. So to be able to harass and potentially confuse a young quarterback, a rookie quarterback from Minnesota, it's advantage J.J. McCarthy, the fact that, we're not completely sure what they're going to throw at the Chicago Bears, but this is a Bears defense that's faced youth before.
Dennis Allen's defense, at least last year, didn't do a lot of blitzing. Finished in the bottom quarter of the NFL when it came to the blitz. And you don't have to blitz when you've got a healthy secondary. That's my concern. Jalen Johnson won't be 100%, and Josh Blackwell has been suffering with his own injuries. So that'll be key. You need to get to the quarterback guys up front.
All right, so I do want to bring up this picture because this is going to be used all Monday night. We know J.J. McCarthy from LaGrange Park. Look at him as a little kid wearing a bear claw and a Brian Urlacher jersey. I mean, it's cute, but you don't care about cute if you're on the Bears. You want to see this guy on the ground. Now, I'd imagine J.J. McCarthy, they probably want to run the ball and establish that run as well because they have not only they have Jordan Mason, but they are also going to have Aaron Jones. But now we know TJ Edwards, he might be questionable for this game. So you're looking at Noah Sewell, who hasn't had much of a role outside of special teams, or a rookie. It's Ruben Hippolyte making his debut on primetime. How concerning is that when it comes to the second level?
Let me jump in about TJ Edwards. I think this guy is the unsung MVP of this Bears defense, and he has been since he came to Chicago back in 2023. He's never missed a game as a Bear. He has not missed a game because of injury since 2020 when he was with the Philadelphia Eagles. Last year, numbers were down compared to his first season with the Bears, but he means so much. He's such a great vocal leader in that locker room. He is respected by his teammates. He's a big loss. You look at the guys that are going to replace him. Noah Sewell, time to step up. It's year 3.
He's had a good camp.
Right, he has his best camp, and frankly, I think Tremaine Edmonds has had his best camp as well. You were there every day, Cass, and we've all been up there, and just watching the way that this enormous and athletic physical presence the Bears have at middle linebacker seems to be prepared to flourish. And he's played a lot of football, but still a really young player, kind of just entering his prime physically. So when you combine the experience Tremaine Edmonds has had at this level to now, just from an age perspective, really entering his physical prime, I do believe what Dennis Allen brings to the table is calling Tremaine Edmonds into aggression and forcing him to attack the line of scrimmage, not only via the blitz, but his first step at the snap of the football will be to engage blockers and not just stay stuck on that block, be on the opposing side of the line of scrimmage. I do believe, I've got faith, we're going to see an enhanced version of Tremaine Edmonds, that if it is Noah Sewell, if it's not TJ Edwards, I think we're going to see a stepped up, a ramped up version of Edmonds.
B.A. real quickly, because I've had Richard Smith, linebackers coach, been in the league, 69 years old. He's the oldest assistant in the NFL right now, brings terrific knowledge to Ben Johnson and Dennis Allen on defense. He loves his length, Tremaine Edmonds' height. How much of a factor is that while he's roaming the middle of the football field?
In pass coverage, it's a big advantage because of how long he is, just like Brian Urlacher, who we saw J.J. McCarthy wearing that jersey of. But what I'm really excited about is his ability to move forward. He's always been great in coverage. I want to see him in attack mode, though.
All right, the big question also on the secondary is Jalen Johnson. Will he be able to go after what he called kind of a freak groin injury that happened while training, doing some wide receiver release drills this offseason. He said he was going to see how he felt in practice, but admitted it would be hard, especially to follow Justin Jefferson, who also hasn't practiced all of training camp just because you have none of those game speed reps. So that's something we're going to be looking out for leading up to Monday night. It's time for our player to watch, brought to you by IGS Energy. It's week 1 and it's my pick, and I'm so hopeful that Jalen Johnson will be good to go for this game, but I don't think he will be at full strength. So because of that, I'm going with Tyreek Stevenson. Dennis Allen said that CB2 job was up for grabs in training camp. He said he is taking care of everything off the field so that he can focus on his play on the field, and he is ready to have a big year, a comeback year for Tyreek Stevenson. That's all we have for Bears Blitz. We'll see you Monday night at 5:30 for Bears Game Day Live.